Hello and welcome back to the Taylor Seminars. My name is Hannah and I'm here with my beautiful co-host Exquisite. Hello.
Hi, Hannah.
I am so excited for us to be doing this podcast, but I am very sad that it is such a sad, sad song.
Such a sad, sad, sad song.
It is, in fact, track 15 of Midnight's Bigger Than the Whole Sky. I think, is this co-written?
Um,
Let me see.
where are the
No, it's
credits? I
self-written.
think it's Self.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
This is clearly a very deep, personal, sad song, which people immediately got from the first listen. Like, oh,
Mhm.
this song is so so sad, and she did do it with Jack.
Yeah, it's really sad. And it's like, it's one of those songs that, and I feel like we probably should explicitly state this first, that so many people can connect with and derive their own meanings to, and that doesn't mean that's what she meant. And I think this is one of those songs, like with Hoax, that we'll probably never know exactly what it's about, but we
Mm-hmm.
can get like ideas. We just know it's about a profound loss because that's what is written
Yeah.
and told us. Something so profound. And so many people have taken it to mean so many different things. And I think that is beautiful. And that is like Taylor Swift music as a living text in a way it can be applied to anyone and everyone who listens. So I just wanted to get that out the way first.
Yeah.
So we're not making any claims here, people.
Yes. Yes. There are times where Taylor is very explicit in her music about what they are about, but this one I think is vague intentionally,
Hmm.
and but the emotion is very vulnerable and real and heartbreaking. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, thanks for that, Exquisite.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
let's
welcome.
let's dive into it. This here is bigger than the whole sky. Here's verse one. No words appear before me in the aftermath. Salt streams out my eyes and into my ears. Every single thing I touch becomes sick with sadness, 'cause it's all over now, all out to sea. Exquisite has like the saddest. Oh my, don't cry.
Sorry, Mr. Crying. Okay, listen. The reason is okay. We were talking. You literally just mentioned like there are things that are like kept vague, and part of that is literally the opening of no words appear before me in the aftermath. She can't even say what happened because there are no words for it. And if anybody like read, I think it's my pinned tweet, but the thing I wrote for Tapedia, um,
Which is a blog.
about like yeah, yeah, the blog that's like for Swifties, and I wrote a thing about like my how I listen to Taylor's music through like a lens of grief or whatever. And that like opening line of the no words appear before me in the aftermath really literally it steals my words, and it's such a powerful thing for an author to say or a writer to say, someone who constantly and always has words to be struck silent to like I don't know, there's nothing I can say about this. That's how like deep it hurt and how deep it was felt. And
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, I felt that. I was like, I mean, I feel like I don't think I've talked about it on the podcast, but I talk about it enough. Like when my aunt died, I was like, I don't even know. I couldn't even say the word died. Like I couldn't say it
Mm-hmm.
for like a month. It's like there's no like magnitude. There's no human language isn't enough to describe this loss. And just in that first sentence, she just says it. It's crazy.
And
And so it just makes me,
it
yeah.
makes you crazy. And I think the way that she writes that line, no words appear before me, right? It's not that no words
Hmm.
I could conjure or think. Like she's even hoping that something will give her an epiphany, right? Or something will present itself as the answer or as the cure or as like, the silver lining. But there's no words in her and nothing around her is letting it make sense either. It's genuinely
Yeah.
she's has no tether, nothing to help her process, right? And because of
Yeah.
that, I mean, this next line is crazy evocative too. Like the fact that salt streams out of my eyes, right? That's normal, right? Like tears,
Hmm.
but they go into her ears, which is like what? But that means she's
Yep.
lying down, like head up, it like face up towards like the ceiling or the
Mm-hmm.
sky, probably the sky because
Mm-hmm.
that's what the title is.
Yep.
And the tears are just streaming down. She can't even stop them, and they're like pooling in her ears.
And
She can't
that is such
move.
a terrible. Oh my gosh, I've cried like that where the tears just go down into your ears, and it's like it's uncomfortable. It's like low key, you're waterboarding yourself.
Yeah,
But
and
it is like,
but you're so sad you can't move. You can't even wipe the
yeah,
tears away.
you can't wipe the tears away. You're stuck and you're staring at the sky, and you're like, can something like the words appear? Can they show up? Can I get some epiphany? And I like that you said epiphany because of the song Epiphany. And she's like, just one single moment of relief
Mm-hmm.
in epiphany. And here it's like,
There's
I don't even
nothing.
get that. Like, I can't even imagine epiphany here because nothing is appearing, nothing is happening.
Yeah. In fact, it's been terrible for a long time or because every
Yeah.
every single thing I touch, like this is the my sadness is contagious, right? Like
Hmm.
another version of that. Um and and that's so like yeah, like I make everything sad. Like the blue is spreading, the void is spreading, right? If you've seen
Literally.
uh, uh, a recent movie, won't spoil it too much, but and I think this last line is crazy because it's all over now, all out to sea, and that reminds me of like a Viking funeral where like
Hmm.
something has died and you put it out to sea, you like light it with flaming like arrows sometimes, but it's like it's gone, it's like out there, you can never reach it again. Oh, sorry, Exquisite. I made
It's
her.
no, it's, it's no, it's like no, it's like literally out of reach. And it's like out of reach in such a way that there is no connection. There is no like getting that back.
Yeah, it's literally like a barrier. Like even in so Viking funerals in Lord of the Rings where Frodo, yeah, go. I think Bilbo too. At a certain point, they like leave across the sea to be away from like the mortal realm. This is the same thing. There's like a distance between life and death, between this world
Yeah.
and this other world. And
Yeah.
now you can do the chorus.
I will. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. You were bigger than the whole sky. You were more than just a short time. And I've got a lot to pine about. I've got a lot to live without. I'm never gonna meet what could have been, would have been, what should have been you.
It's so sad. The way she sings this too is
I know.
soft and pained and
Ugh.
ethereal. It's so
It is,
gentle too, yeah.
and it's also like it's there's just something about it and you know there's something about it because it's literally now a cultural like phrase people say. Like a lot of Taylor lyrics become like phrases that
Yeah,
people
in the
say. And
vernacular, yeah.
yeah, and goodbye, 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 you were bigger than the whole sky is everywhere when somebody doesn't get something that they want or like somebody else was cast in a role that they wanted for someone else or
I have seen that. Or
their
the Pope.
dreams were like crushed. Exactly. The Pope they wanted to get picked didn't get picked. And so they post in all caps, goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. You were bigger than the whole sky. And it's like, there's like, I don't know, like even if you don't grasp what it means, you get what it means.
Yeah.
Like it is like, what does it mean to be bigger than the whole sky?
It means that y- you were everything to me. Like you were this thing that it cannot be contained. That's to me, right? Because the sky is the biggest thing, right? It goes from
Hmm.
horizon to horizon, and yet for
Hmm.
you to say that it's bigger means that it's like the universe. It's this the
Yeah.
solar system, and so, and to say that you were this thing that was so big in my life and had such gravity, and for you to suddenly be gone, it would be yeah. Like imagine losing the gravitational pull of the sun and our Earth just like stopped
Literally.
spinning.
Imagine you wake up and there's no sky. Like you can't even like you can't imagine that because it doesn't compute. You can never compute that there is such a loss that it would like that a lot. It is hard to imagine something coming to an end, especially unexpected endings
Yeah.
or not enough time. And I just love the fact that in that opening verse, Taylor opened it with I'm looking at the sky and you were bigger than the whole sky. Like she's looking up
Yeah.
and she's like grasping the expanse of the whole thing. And she's like, you're bigger than what I'm looking at. And I'm looking at the biggest thing I can see. And you were more than that. Ugh.
And now you're gone. Like you were, and and I think this. I mean, this happens to whatever kind of loss you have, where it never seems like I had you long enough. Whether it's a
Hmm.
relationship, like romantic relationship, a parental sibling, child, whatever. Like it's so short, right? It's never long enough. You're like, I wish I could have more time. Right? That's what people always say, um,
Hmm.
and 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 so now, and because of that, it's like because of that time that's lost, I'm always gonna think about it,
Hmm.
about what could
And
have.
it's not like, it's not just thinking, it's pining. Like to pine is to desire and to want so badly. And she's like, I've got a lot to want and to just desire. Like so much of that. And it's like the time. I wanted that time
Yeah.
and I'm never going to get it.
Yeah, it's a lot to like the longing. I mean, the Pride and Prejudice thing just came through the theaters, and like everyone always talks about Mr. Darcy and the longing, right? To pine is to long. But then imagine if they never got together, Mr. Darcy and Elizabeth Bennet, right? He's got a lot
Hmm.
to live without. Um, and yeah, and there's always those questions, those what ifs, right?
Yeah.
Uh, I wish, I want, what if? And that's what it
Yeah.
ends on, these questions with the
Of the like,
regret.
I'm never gonna meet, you know? And I do think like the could have, would have, should have, which is funny she puts this in that order because we know she has her the song of would have, could have, should have,
Hmm.
but here she has could have, would have, should have, which I've said it so much those words don't sound like words to me anymore. But it's interesting to be like what you could have been, the potential you have, what you would have been if I hadn't lost you or hadn't lost us or whatever, and then what you should have been. Like you deserve to have gotten that chance to be this thing, and you don't because there's no you and no future for you anymore. I don't ever get to see what you should have become. Like you deserve to become this, and you're never going to become it. And that is why it's so much. It's so much. Oh my gosh. Anyway,
Yeah, no,
Hannah, next verse.
no. Wait,
You
let's
got
pause on
something
that.
to say.
I really did like when you talked about the order, the could've, would've, should've of this song. Like it makes sense. It really leads together, and yeah, it is so. Yeah, let's go to verse two. Let's go to verse two. Did some bird flap its wings over in Asia? Did some force take you because I didn't pray? Every single thing to come has turned into ashes, 'cause it's all over. It's not meant to be. So I'll say words I don't believe. This verse is crazy. I know we always talk about how verse twos from Taylor are like surprisingly like somehow like it takes the metaphor into the next level. Like she gets stronger in verse two. It's not like
Hmm.
leftover verses. This verse to talk about like the butterfly effect in like the first line is crazy, right? Because we always do this when something happens that's bad. We're always like, what's the line in Evermore? Like all I do is rewind the tape to try to find the moment,
Hmm.
that we messed up. Like
Oh,
that.
yeah. All it does is pause on the very moment that something. I
Yeah,
know what you're talking about.
and then
Discombobulated.
yeah, trying to or and then there's something about footsteps and like getting them wrong. Anyway,
Yeah, she's
but
stopping on one of the stairs and she's like, "This is the moment." Something.
yeah. So then here's the
Exactly.
same
We know
thing.
what we're saying. Our audience knows what we're saying.
But that's the thing, right? And like, what was the thing that went wrong? Was it some bird? Was it just one tiny little thing that I couldn't even have controlled or predicted over
Yep.
there?
So the first question is like, was it something out of my control? And then that next question is, was it in my control?
Right. Yes, the lyrics are I replay my footsteps on each stepping stone, trying to find the one where I went wrong, writing lettered addressed to the fire.
Yeah. And then the other one's, I rewind the tape, but all it does is pause on the very moment all was lost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's yes, you're right. So yeah, we have this uncontrollable tiny thing that went that had this butterfly effect where basically it's one small thing leads to a bigger thing, leads to a bigger thing to this giant consequence. And then we have this one where it's like, "Oh, is it because I missed something?"
It's like, did I not do something? And for this song, it's the did I not pray? I didn't pray. Which is it's very interesting to have Taylor bring up praying in this context because she's only ever done it once before in this like a context like this, and that was Soon You'll Get Better.
Hmm.
Um, and that I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
that one I remember. It's like holy orange bottles. Each night I pray to
each night,
you. Desperate
desperate
people
people
find
find
faith.
faith.
So now I pray to Jesus too. And as a like someone who grew up in the evangelical context, like that is this guilt of like I didn't pray hard enough is like so
Hmm.
real. Like oh like you know you should have prayed harder or you should
Hmm.
have come to church more or you should have you know like there's always that guilt that kind of haunts you and
Hmm.
yeah
And
that's
then it's like I prayed as hard as I could and I still didn't get it. And it's like that's a question that's been haunting theologians forever. Of
yeah what happens when prayers are unanswered.
or the answer is no. Like
Yeah.
what is that? And
Yeah.
it's like, I don't know. Like I keep always like the context I have of it of this song specifically right now because everything like when I say Taylor like changes context. When I first heard it, this song specifically was about like my grandfather and then my aunt died on me and it was such a sudden death. It was out of nowhere. It was like she was eating pizza and then she was gone
Hmm.
just that quickly. And it was like we were all praying and we were all doing all this praying and it's like it what are we going to do if it's not enough? And it wasn't enough. And all of a sudden, it's just like there's just this bigger than the whole sky, gaping hole
Yeah.
of where this person was and what they could have continued to be, or what the things that they never get to see or never get to like experience or touch or like any of that. And you're just stuck. You're stuck. You're frozen. Of like and then that's how we get that next verse of every single thing to come has turned into ashes. Of because what matters now if something new is coming if I don't get to share it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. And ashes are obviously happen after a fire, something just in this context, something
mm-hmm,
destructive, like, and then it has burned down. So it's all the future plans I had have been destroyed. It also reminds me
mm-hmm.
of, you know, people say that when you're in such deep grief, even food tastes like ash. It doesn't taste like
Yep,
anything, right? It's,
yep,
and there's no will to like live. And so even food tastes terrible. And
yep.
like
And then there's like ashes to ashes, which is
yeah,
what people say when you're burying somebody.
hmm hmm from ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Mm-hmm,
Again, Christian imagery where humans were thought to be created from the dust and God breathed the breath of life. And then when they die, they go back to being dust. And so and because of this idea of this destruction, ashes to ashes, it's all over. It's not meant to be. Like, and I think that's a crazy line because to be also means to exist, right? So
mm-hmm.
that double play of like it's not meant to be, and then it's no there's no being. So she has to say words I don't believe. What and those words are
Are
that
the goodbye, goodbye,
yeah
goodbye.
because she's not
And
happy.
literally, and I don't like it's the I don't want to believe that I'm never gonna meet
Mm,
you. And I do want to I just want to harp on that order one more time because it is like almost an order of like urgency and unfairness, honestly. Like the could have, so all the things you could have, and when people say like could have, it's like, oh, I could have done this or that, right?
hmm.
And then it's like would have, so all those things that that person would have chosen to do,
Yeah,
like it's a conjugation of will,
yeah.
while
It's
could
got
is a
more like
conjugation of
agency. I
can.
feel like
Yeah.
I will,
Like
I would.
can versus will is agency, and then should is like deserving. Like it so it's like it becomes more and more urgent of
Yeah,
like they can do this or maybe not. Like you always get that question of when you ask like to go to the bathroom and they're like, can you go to the bathroom?
yeah. Or will
Um,
or may I? Like you know, yeah.
exactly. And it's like the thing like will and would as a word, it's such an interesting word because it's like past and future. It's all of that like contained in one conjugation of the word will. I think I went into in labyrinth, so I'm not going to do it again. But should is just so like should itself is
Yeah,
just
it's like it's almost commanding, like you should do this, right? Like it's got like
Hmm.
a imperative to
Yeah, I
it.
think it comes from shell, like shell, shall. Shall,
Shall, yeah.
shall. I'm sorry, I sound so country right now. Um,
I got you. I got you. Yeah. Yeah, cuz yes, and I also think like the so I'll say words I don't believe could also be
hmm
like when people are like, "Oh, like will you be okay?" It's like, "Yeah, I'll be okay." Like when you have to like lie to people, right? So you're saying
hmm
these words like that you don't believe, or people like it's all for the best, right? And you know that's something you can say. It's for the best, or like it'll be okay, and you're like, I do not believe these words at all, but I have to say them so that
hmm
people leave me alone, or people think I'm okay, but I'm a wreck. Do you want to go to the
Yeah.
bridge? That's okay. The bridge. The bridge is just she's
It's
laughing.
just that
Yeah, it's
repetition
what
of
could
it.
have been, what would have been, what could have
What
been,
should
what
have
would have
been.
been, what should have been. Yeah,
And she keeps going could have, would have. That she repeats the could have, would have, and doesn't say the should have
until
again.
like the middle of
I,
it.
yeah.
Yeah,
She ends it on should have, which
yeah,
is,
at the very
I
end.
mean, that's the order. But also what's interesting is there not being a lot of words in the song because she literally says words can't. The only thing that she can think of are these words for like how unfair it all is. Like you could have and you would have and you should have and you can't and
Yeah.
you won't and you shall not. Like you won't ever. And that's the only thing that she can like the unfairness of it all is just repeating over and over and over in her head as she is on her back. Like, give me any other words to say about this.
No,
She can't.
I love that interpretation because we have this the music gives that same intensity of feeling, right? With these repeating words and the
Mm-hmm.
spiraling that she's doing. And this is what, and you know, when you are having an episode where you are feeling so deeply and you're crying, like that's what happens. You just kind of spiral around and around. Sometimes it goes really fast around, sometimes it's slow, but you still are kind of stuck in this cyclone of feelings. And
Mm-hmm.
so, yeah, and that's what happens when you have a big loss is you have all these questions to you. I mean, ask questions to the sky, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
why me, why now, all
Why
these things.
them?
Yeah, yeah. And I think that's why this song was so it resonated with a lot of people who had been through a loss. I think one of Taylor's friends actually posted it because they had a miscarriage, I think, and
Mm-hmm.
then a lot of other people, you know, felt the same way, shared about it. But it could also just be the loss of someone you lost too soon, whether they were actually a younger person or just anyone in general, like that you didn't want to lose. Um, and so yeah, it's a beautifully sad
Yeah.
song.
And I can just and I like understand why so many people like connect with it. And it's the same way, like it's the same way I've seen so many like widows specifically connect with Down Bad.
Yes.
Um or like anyone who's been like had to deal with the death or like such a profound loss that they connect with Down Bad, especially the like you left me here and what am I supposed to do with that? um and I do feel like Bigger Than the Whole Sky is it's similar. And you know, we want to handle these things very delicately. That's why I'm like, we're not making any claims. This is like it is irrelevant, I think, in the case of this song, what happened. Because Taylor herself in the song is like, I can't tell you what happened. I don't know. The words for what happened aren't appearing, so it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I can tell you that it's not fair and that either I didn't pray enough or something out of my control happened.
Yeah. Yeah. And it is so interesting. I will say like her track listing is like can be funky and like her having this and then we're gonna have Paris next week. I just think okay, cool.
Right. And it's particularly interesting that it comes after the Great War
Mm-hmm.
to me,
Mm-hmm.
because wars are like the scene of death and violence and
Yeah.
loss. And
Yeah.
then we get the song about loss and dealing with that. And
Yeah.
then literally she goes like, I need to gossip now.
Yeah.
That's a
I need to
lot.
move on.
That was really heavy.
Yeah.
Can we
Yeah.
talk about
Yeah.
something else?
Yeah. I will say this isn't obviously the first time she's talked about very serious topics like death. I mean, we did obviously you mentioned soon you'll get better. I think a more similar song, or not more, but another similar song to this is Forever Winter, which is another one of
Mm-hmm.
my favorite Taylor Swift songs, which is one of the vault tracks on Red Taylor's version, where she talks about a friend who is uh, going through like depression, some kind of sadness that she's trying to fix. I'll take the bomb in your head and disarm it. Please don't go. I'll be your summer sun forever. And so these are,
Mm-hmm.
she doesn't shy away from these topics that are so difficult. Another one that reminds me of is Breathe from Fearless, where it's like, I can't breathe without you, but I have to. This kind of the sadness of, again, losing a friendship, obviously in a different context, but this idea of like, how do I move on? Right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and so, yeah, the depth of feeling for her has always been there, and it doesn't always have to be about a romantic
Yeah.
relationship.
And it's interesting you say like with Breathe, because with Breathe there, she is like, okay, there is something beyond this.
Yes.
Versus in this song, and woulda coulda should have, she's like, there is nothing beyond me being stuck on my back and stuck in this loop right now.
Yeah.
Um, and I do think that's why Paris has to come next. She was like, we need something fun, we need something light,
Yeah.
uh, we need something that's not too much.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, no, hearing this song at it was what two? I think it was like
Three.
2:15 for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. It'll be 2 a.m. because you were in Central Time, right? That must.
It
Yeah.
was only a little past midnight for you.
Yeah. I don't know how people did. Like, I'm sure many people crashed out to the song. Like, already have in a vulnerable state from re-listening to Midnights, and then further in a delirium hearing this song.
I know.
I'm
Oh my
surprised
God.
there weren't more crash outs. Really.
It's just, it's like, it's a lot. Like, oh my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Taylor, you just dumped that on us at 3 a.m. for most people.
Yeah. That was wild. Um, so yeah, this episode's a little short and sweet, but we think that I don't think we can handle more. So honestly, good
Yeah.
for Taylor not doing like a extra crazy bridge, because if we had to do that, ugh. Um, but do we have a gentle emoji for our listeners who are maybe lying on their beds and having salt stream down their face as they listen to this podcast? Maybe not into their
Mhm.
ears, but
Maybe, I mean, I don't know, Hannah. Do you have an idea for an
I
emoji?
mean, we could always do, a bird.
Yeah, we could do a bird or a butterfly. We could do a butterfly. Now that we're at the end of it and it feels less less heavy. I have bone to pick with people who are using the butterfly effect wrong on TikTok.
Oh,
They're like, the butterfly effect is crazy because if I didn't do this, this wouldn't happen. I'm like, that's not the butterfly effect.
yeah, it's because the butterfly is like not something you did. So okay, so we will do a butterfly to reclaim the butterfly effect. The butterfly effect is something that you did not do. Although I guess in the movie
Exactly.
they did do something, but that's not what it's supposed to be. Just don't watch the movie. I heard it's not good. It's got like Ashton Kutcher in it. But yeah, this idea that's something out of your control. Um, so yeah, we'll do a little butterfly, and then it'll also be like a little bit like one day debut will come to us.
One day my prince will come in
Yeah,
my prince's debut.
yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm gonna read the Wikipedia definition. It's a small change in one state can result in something bigger. I simplified it. I used some big words, right? So like, but yeah, it wouldn't be like I did something. It would be like, oh, like I picked up this penny, and then because I did that, like say I don't know.
It
Anyway,
wouldn't even, it'd be, I picked up a penny, and because I did that, someone in China didn't go to work this morning because the hurricane happened.
yeah. Like lots of little things happen for there to be a big consequence. It can't be the immediate consequence, is what we mean, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, now we just gave everyone a little mini butterfly effect lecture. So thank you for listening, all. We really appreciate it. We will be back next time with Paris, which we promise will have a whole different tone. Um,
In
and then
Paris.
we'll be talking about brainwashing. So it is very different than.
Yeah.
um, so we yeah so join the conversation, hashtag midnight seminars, support us on Ko-fi. Thank you to everyone who has donated so we can get like little coffees. I actually don't drink a lot of coffee anymore. Do you drink coffee? Do you drink matchas? Like, what's like your thing?
No, I don't do anything. I drink a protein shake.
All right, for
That's what I
Exquisite's
use it.
protein shakes, yeah, I will. I do like a good, like a little sweet coffee every once in a while, but I usually get decaf because caffeine makes me super jittery. But I still want to get like
Yeah,
the
caffeine gives me the shakes.
yeah. So for our decafs and protein shakes, we really appreciate it, and we will see you guys again very soon. Bye.
Yes. Bye.